And I think going back to being, I'm down 70 pounds since March 24th. I started boxing classes on Monday with my friend's gym, and I had a blast. But I think that what really sealed in when I really thought I needed help is that a group of my girlfriends, every year we go on a float trip. There's 10 of us. We rent a cabin, no husbands, no children. We just enjoy each other. And the last 2 years I went, I felt so heavy in the water that I thought I was going to drown. And I realized that my body could not handle. And my SVT, they also thought was weight related. Just couldn't handle it. And that's when I kind of decided I need to do something different so that I can get fit again. And you can do it with walking, you can do it with running if you want to. You just have to prioritize and just make a decision that's going to be beneficial for what you can handle. And nobody knows what you can handle but yourself. I'm done.
Thank you. Today I'll be talking about phytochemicals or phytochemicals. Anybody knows what are those? Good idea. I can't hear you. Oh.
You may have to talk into the microphone, yes, dear. You don't project like I do.
Last time I did this, I started walking back and forth. Remember that? Okay. Phytochemicals. Anybody?
Plants.
Any idea? Plants. Okay. We hear a lot about different words. Functional foods. Now we're like, functional foods. Remember the last month when they came and we cooked and we did a lot of the ingredients, turmeric and all, it's so good for you and it's anti-inflammatory, and she talked about kale and these other benefits of different vegetables and superfoods. We hear a lot about superfoods, right? What do they have? Phytochemicals. Okay. So that's perfect when I heard that's coming from plants, because phyto means plants. Chemicals, what that means is that I can't talk on the phone. I'm gonna go around here and I'm gonna make it work. I need to move. I gotta move. I'm good. I'm just worried about that. This is safe, so I need to stay here. Confined here. I will move a little bit, but that's fine. So, phytochemicals. Phyto means plants.
Turn the mic around.
You still can?
No.
Really? Oh my goodness. I'll just stay here. We might need to edit that video. So it's nothing else that compounds that plants contain, okay? And those compounds or those chemical structures is helping the plant in some way, correct? It's the plant will have those to protect the plant. So there's different functions that happens in that plant, and those chemical substances are happening to be helpful for us. They're a benefit of us in a way, okay? And of course, what foods are coming from plants? Their fruits, their vegetables, legumes, tea, any herbs, okay, turmeric, some other ingredients in some cilantro, anything that is a herb, a tea, even chocolate, okay, contains some phytochemicals, okay? Not so much dairy products or animal products. Remember, we're talking about plants, all right? They're not considered essential. What does that mean? That we can function without them. What about B12? What about iron? Some vitamins and minerals are essential, right? If we don't have enough of them, we develop deficiencies, correct? And we talk about that in our one-to-one. Well, phytochemicals, they're non-nutrient. They're compounds that are found in plants that we don't need necessarily, or we don't have any deficiencies if we don't have, but they have been found to be beneficial to our health, okay? That provides a lot of support and it's been found that's preventing, certain types of cancer, etc. We're gonna go into that. So we have a lot of benefits. The term essential means we don't have to have it, but then we don't make them. So we need to have them from our sources of plants, our fruits and vegetables. Okay? Make sense? So this is kind of to recap. They'll provide those health benefits beyond those provided by major nutrients. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, but vitamins are vitamins, and we isolate certain vitamins and certain minerals, certain phytonutrients, but we're going to see that how all that together can make a benefit in our health and not just isolating them from the foods will make it different. Some studies demonstrate that it has a protective effect on plants with the prevention and or treatment of heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and hypertension, which is our major conditions. Okay, so this is a review of the functions of the phytochemicals in plants. They provide the color. So the first thing we think about is what? Carrots, or all those carotenoids. Those are phytochemicals. Okay, now we're seeing what we know, right? That's coming from that major group. So there is like about 2,000 pigments that have been identified, and 600 of them are carotenoids. They also protect the plant from insects, okay? And they protect the plants from oxidation. And this is a huge thing, oxidation. Anybody heard that word? We hear it more commonly as antioxidants. Okay? Remember last month when we talked about antioxidants and lots of vitamin E, vitamin C, and we kept talking about it, and she kept saying, this is antioxidant, great antioxidant, right? And when we think of antioxidants, we usually think of the vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin E. But phytochemicals, they act as an antioxidant. Oops, I need to put the pen down. What that means is that, there's it's a very kind of a chemical term when we talk about your body going through an oxidative type reaction, and that word, don't worry about it. The body always goes through that process. What happened is that it's been found that you want something to antagonize or to protect from, okay? And some of those phytochemicals act as that protective barrier. So when we talk about cancer and preventing cancer, that's what it does. So let's look at some of the functions in our body. Here in this slide, I just wanted to mention all the major phytochemicals so you have an idea. And I didn't want to make it that complicated, but within that category, there's many subcategories, okay? But we have the phenolic acids, we have the flavonoids, the garlic. We'll talk about some foods here in a little bit. Lignans, all the beans and legumes falls into that. But you have at least an idea of how they're broken down. Okay, so what are the main functions in our human body? And here we start as an antioxidant. So it prevents or repairs the damage of cells caused by oxidizing agents. What are those? Ozone and smoking in our environment, okay? And we know that ozone is not really good for us and for skin and skin cancer, correct? Well, there's some phytochemicals that can help you prevent any of those from happening in your cell level, okay? Onions, leeks, garlic, fruits, carrots, tea, and the list goes on, okay? Hormonal action. Has anybody heard of soybeans? Right? Oh, it's scary. I don't think I want to eat soybeans. I don't think I want to do it. It does something on females. Hormonal action. Okay? Now, it's been proven that it's very helpful for you on a small amount, but it seems, and it will take a look later on, but it seems like in large amounts, then it gets to be counterproductive. In other words, everything in balance, correct? Okay? But it does provide a lot of benefits, especially cardiovascular disease, all right? So it does good. Phytoestrogens. Those are estrogens that are found in plants. They're part of that same group. So it's kind of, it has a similarity of our estrogen, and it kind of weaknesses us in a way. It affects us in a way, and boosts in a way, and it's kind of the same as soy products. It's just a little bit just okay, a large amount, you know, might affect. Stimulation of enzymes. It can stimulate the effect on a certain enzyme, and enzymes are what? Proteins. I love protein. Enzymes that can reduce the risk of cancer. Cabbage, for example, stimulate an enzyme to make the estrogen less effective and could reduce the risk for breast cancer. Okay? Turmeric, we talked about that last month. It will inhibit an enzyme that could activate carcinogens and prevents cancer. And it's also an anti-inflammatory. Okay, so those are common examples. They can also kind of interfere in the DNA replication. And that's all about cancer, right? That we've heard and research that have been out there. Phytochemicals, that's what they do. Beans, for example, it interferes with the replication of cell DNA, thereby preventing the multiplication of cancer cells. It also suppresses the development of diseases. So it either prevents or tempers down, right? Prevents any further growth. Antibacterial effect, garlic, number one out there. Okay? I think garlic is also anti-inflammatory. And you're going to see that one food is going to have many phytochemicals. Okay? It's not just one benefit, but many benefits that comes along with. But they're not all are beneficial. Remember that back to the legumes and the soy, a little bit is okay, a lot, keep an eye on it, kind of. Well, there's some others that are toxic. They're toxic. Oxalic acid, for example, in spinach, collards, rhubarb. Too much can cause some stomachache. Anybody had any stomachache when they eat spinach? No? Sandy feeling in your mouth? Now that you guys, your taste will change a little bit, get a little bit more sandy, get a little bit more of that. Solanine is an insect repellent substance found in green potatoes. You guys know about this one. You can't eat green potatoes, are not good for you? Well, it's right. Too much can interfere with the transmission of nerve impulses. And they'll cause you to make, say, did your grandma tell you that? Don't eat green potatoes? Well, don't eat green potatoes. Huh? Yes? Oh, this is a good one. Caffeine. Is a phytochemical? So in large amounts, again, it might cause excessive sleeplessness, that we know that, might delay the time for women to conceive, could increase the risk for heart disease, cancer, osteoporosis, even if it's not been proven, but researchers out there. So keep an eye on caffeine. At some point they wanted to combine caffeine with alcohol, and that got banned. Yes, because caffeine will counteract the effect of alcohol in a way, but that got banned. Neither the United States or Canada are allowing any product to be caffeinated and of course have some degree of alcohol. So that's good. They're protecting us anyway. That was TMI, right? Okay. And then caffeine, there's certain limits of caffeine in a product, and the FDA regulates how much caffeine is in a given product in a given volume. Okay. So yes, the government is controlling that by setting limits to the beverages that you drink, that you should not be having any caffeinated beverages. Very seldom. A little bit here and there. Okay. Cassava, yuca, that's a little bit of it that goes to me. Being from the Caribbean, is that fruit in the very middle that actually is a root in the middle. It's called cassava. It's delicious. One of my favorite. My mom has the best recipe, but it needs to be cooked, fully cooked, fermented, and I know it from, of course, coming into my profession, out there, but, and I grew up, I have it, but we don't eat it. It's just like that green potato. You just don't touch it. You cook, and after you cook and it's been all done, then you can eat it, okay? And I'm well and sound. But again, the same basis with the potatoes. You need to cook, you need to prepare, and then that toxin is not going to be no longer, of any concern to your health. Acne fruit, I'm not very familiar with this, is a fruit of Jamaica. It's yellow and fleshy. I looked it up online. It looked like little balls all together. And it tastes like butter, but it causes severe vomiting, rapid drop in blood glucose levels. Okay? So this is just to give you an idea. There are many that are good. There are some that are not as good. Okay? Now we need to be careful. Okay. Here are some foods that are high in phytonutrients. And these are divided by the phytochemical and the major phytochemical, okay? These are the most commonly known. There's plenty. You search, you're gonna have a full list. You're gonna probably have a book out of this, okay? But for the most part, these are the most commonly studied phytochemicals. You start with your phytoestrogens, which are the soy products, the flaxseed, the nuts, yam, red clover, licorice root, but not the candy. May block some cancers. It can aid in menopausal symptoms and help improve memory. You have your phytosteroids. Come from plant oils, corn, soy, sesame, safflower, wheat, and pumpkin. It might block hormonal role in cancers, and it might inhibit that word. It prevents the uptake of cholesterol from diet, which means it improves your cholesterol levels. Okay? Saponins, and I'm not, me and my pronunciation, me Latina. So my vowels, Yams, beans, cabbage, nuts, soybeans. It might prevent cancer cells from multiplying. Your cancer to grow, pretty much. Your terpenes, your carrots and yams, winter squash, sweet potatoes, apples, cantaloupe. Antioxidants, word is out there. It protects the DNA from free radical-induced damage. Your tomatoes or any tomato-based product. It might block your UVA and UVB. Remember the ozone? There you go. Might help protect against cancers like prostate cancer. Citrus fruits. Oh, back to tomatoes. Even our famous ketchup, it contains phytochemicals because it's a product coming from tomatoes, and it's been proven that has a degree of your benefits. Okay. Citrus fruits, flavonoids in apples, They promote protective enzymes in the liver. It has antiseptic properties. Spinach, kale, beet, turnip, greens, cabbage. It protects your eyes from macular degeneration. Red chili peppers prevent carcinogens from binding to DNA. Okay, any questions? There's some more here. The phenols, the fennel, the parsley, remember those herbs? Carrots, alfalfa, cabbage, apples again. You're gonna see broccoli everywhere. Broccoli has a bunch of them. Citrus fruits, green peppers. It prevents blood clotting. Many have anti-cancer properties, antioxidants. The list keeps going. Grapes, yellow squash. The sulfur compounds are the onion, the garlic, the cabbage, the cauliflower. That's all in that group. Okay, liver health, better cholesterol, reduces your triglycerides. Okay, it lowers your blood pressure. Okay. Yes.
Vitamin D is starting to play a big part in a lot of, you haven't mentioned anything about it.
Vitamin D.
Yes.
Vitamin D is more found on dairy products.
Okay.
Well, they fortify. They fortify vitamin D from many products. I can talk for like an hour just on vitamin D. There's a lot of research on vitamin D. I'm not focusing on vitamin D right now,
Okay.
but yes, some of this, products might contain vitamin D, but we're talking today about non-nutrient type foods, compounds. There's still food sources that they have benefit, they have a compound that had a benefit to our health, but not necessarily a vitamin or a nutrient.
Okay.
Vitamin D is essential. All these phytochemicals, they're not essential. Make sense? Most phytochemicals need to work in combination. Remember when I said in the beginning, okay, we're going to talk about this in a little bit. What happened is that many research have tried to isolate, for example, beta carotene, what's found in carrots, and they try to do a lot of research on that. Oh, let's make this population, let's have this group of people and have this amount and see how they do and see if they prevent any cancer, see if there's any health claim on it, and guess what? They found benefits, but nothing is set in stone, and some research have not found any benefit of just having that one beta carotene. And guess what? Many times, all these phytochemicals work together to provide the benefit to our health. If you isolate them, they may not be beneficial, but in combination, magic comes out. Make sense? So they just work like a team, like how we all do, okay? Like our bees when they make honey, they work as a team. Yes?
In terms of your diet and how much of these and like the combinations, the perfect combinations to form that team, do you have any websites that we could go to for like
They have not
recipes?
proven any perfect combination of this. That's the, wow, a great question here. What is the best combination? And the research have not found, they're still in research. That's why, remember that the government starts making different places, different universities, etc. They start doing a lot of research and they have not found a health claim for the perfect combination. And even some of these claims and some of all the benefits of phytochemicals, they're out there, you can read through it, but since there is no consistency, the FDA doesn't even regulate the amount of phytochemicals that you're eating on a given food. Now, going back to the functional foods, and what is a functional food? A functional food is a food that is high in phytochemicals, and I extract the phytochemicals foods that you buy from places like what she talked about when you guys came last month, the lady that Nature's Grocers or some whole food place. Some manufacturers add these phytochemicals, but they don't need to disclose how much they've added. You are getting them, and they know that it's beneficial for you, but you're gonna read in the back of the label and you're gonna see what? The standards. You're gonna see the amount of the macronutrients, amount of fat, and some vitamins, etc.